Welcome to Coochie Conversations, where we give you the real on all things women's health, spirituality, and motherhood. Empowering women to have sovereignty over themselves, we shine light on the disparities that women face daily as divine feminine beings. So steep your favorite tea, roll up your favorite smoke blend, and tune into this week's episode of Coochie Conversations. Welcome. This is your girl, Bianca Pittman, aka Divine Mother, CEO of holistic feminine wellness brand BU Beauty, and your Coochie Conversations Shiro, hero, and host. Today, we've been blessed to share space with our beautiful goddess, manager, and dear friend, Joanne, aka Joanne in the Mirror, CFO of Layground and the Black Market NYC. On today's episode, we'll be talking about who we are, how we started Coochie Conversations, and what you can expect from the platform. Thank you so much, Joanne, for joining us today. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me. I am Joanne. Like Bianca said, I am the CFO of Layground and the Black Market NYC. We met through my business services. I am a brand consultant based in New York for now, and I implement systems, processes, and procedures for brown women-owned businesses. And I was working in that capacity when I met Bianca, and it took a little while for me to come on board because life has its twists and turns, but I know now it was preparation. And we're here today. I am so honored to have this role here. So I'm happy to be here and I'm very happy to work here.
Well, we are so grateful and so happy to have you here as well. I really feel like, it was very much divine timing. Things don't always happen on our time, but it happens in divine time. And we had known each other for maybe 4 years, 3 years at the time. And just like, who knew that meeting you in the vending space, you were vending for Vision Words and I was vending for BU Beauty. And who knew that just us setting up next to each other would blossom into such a beautiful friendship and business, relationship. And I'm just very thankful to have you on this journey with us. You are one of the lights of BU Beauty. And, there's some days where I feel like, damn, I can't even do this without you.
That is the joy of my life. I'm here to serve in my purpose, and my purpose happens to be myself for a living. So to honor the women that I work for, just to be my authentic self has been such a high calling. And it comes with a set of tribulations. When you're operating in your purpose, you are, coming against a lot of adversity from every area, systemically, corporately, financially, mentally, especially spiritually. So I just thank you for holding space for me and keeping me strong and, fortifying why I do what I do. Like working with you has been such a joy, and it helps me raise a standard for everybody else around me, like in friendship and in business. So thank you for being a boss ass goddess.
And it's you say like you get to be yourself for a living, and it's no coincidence that our brand is named BU Beauty. You know what I mean? And it's like we both get to be who we are. And I think that's also why the dynamic really works and meshes really well, because we're just being us, and not everybody has that luxury or just that, I guess, the luxury or just knowing or having that inner knowing that they can just be themselves.
Yeah.
And that can be enough.
Yeah. I mean? Yeah. So, and I think that's we know that's the intention of the programming. We've been talking about this for a while. And I know that not only was I supposed to, work here, but I know that I was supposed to do this and transition you into a bigger market, because energetically I wanted to be the person, but I know that I was called to be the person to introduce you to the world in a way. And then like it took us getting to know each other, and for me to know you that well. So when I introduce you, I'm never out of turn or out of place. And the fact that I'm in so many professional spaces and I know you so intimately, it's almost like kismet that I was supposed to know you to put you in the conversation of where I'm at. And this podcast is an extension of that, of me honoring your gifts. Is like I want to see this come to pass, because so many women are craving that inner knowledge and craving that community that we have, and you do it so effortlessly that I just want to just share it with the world. I want to share with everybody. Do you know you can be yourself and it's fine? Like, I feel like I know a secret. So now I get to share you, and they get a glimpse. This isn't even all of it, a glimpse of how you operate, what it takes to be you and to be you beautifully. So I feel like I'm introducing you. I feel like I'm presenting you, and it's such an honor to work here, because you have helped me in my own feminine wellness, and it extends to my daughter and her grandmother and all the women around me. So I'm just so excited for women to get to know what you offer. So tell us a little bit about why you started and who you
Thank you. Thank you.
are.
So, for those of you who are just tapping into Coochie Conversations for the first time, we started Coochie Conversations a year ago today. So it's our 1 year Coochie Conversation anniversary. And originally we started on Clubhouse, it was a little intimate. And then we branched off to Instagram Live because we're like, we want to touch more people. And now we're like a podcast. So it's been a long time coming. And I thank you for giving me that push, and like other people just telling me like, this needs to be a podcast. It needs to be a podcast. And just giving people the luxury of being able to listen to us at their leisure. So I originally started Coochie Conversations because I just wanted to give women a space to have relevancy. We don't always know that we can relate to somebody, have transparency, a healing space that is non-judgmental. You can come in, you can talk about whatever it is that's on your mind, and really just let your hair down and have a space where it's more like just a sisterhood of women who are like on the same healing journeys, women who are looking for insight, knowledge when it comes to their spirituality, their overall reproductive health, motherhood now, because I'm embarking on this motherhood journey soon. So I just wanted to also give women just a space, because I come from a space of being this yoni goddess, this womb healer, and knowing so much about the feminine body that I felt like everybody knows this information. You know what I mean? Like, we all have vaginas. Why don't we all yeah, you know this information? And it's like, no, we don't. My mom worked at Planned Parenthood for 15 years. She would come home and we would have these talks. I was listening to Talk Sex with Sue and Dr. Ruth at 11, 12 years old. Most parents would be like, no, you can't watch that. But at the same time, my mom was just so open with me when it came to sexuality and our reproductive health and all of that, that she didn't feel like she had to hinder me in those spaces. And I felt like every mom had those conversations until I would be around my friends and they were like, no. Like, but even my mom would tell me, like, when I got my first time, I got my period for the first time, I was just handed a pad and that was it. So I didn't realize that it was such a taboo topic. And I want to break the stigma and break the taboos that's surrounded by women and what we go through on the day to day when it comes to just getting to know ourselves and our bodies and how they function. I want women to know that having a yeast infection is normal. Having a bacterial infection is normal. It doesn't mean that you're dirty. You know what I mean? Like, just getting women comfortable with themselves and letting them know like why these things happen and what could be a holistic approach to healing. So oftentimes we may have an issue. Like even yesterday, my friend was telling me that she had a UTI, and I was like, oh, you can do this, this, and that. And she ended up going to the doctor, and she's like, well, he gave me medicine for the UTI, but I had to also ask him to give me diflucan because I know that medicine from the UTI is going to give me a yeast infection. So oftentimes we go to the doctors and for one thing, they give us medication for one thing, and then we have to have medication for something totally different that we didn't even go to the doctor for, when there's other holistic approaches that you can do naturally, because 9 times out of 10, Western medicine is just oftentimes covering up the issue as opposed to getting down to the underlying cause, which was my issue when I got diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's like, oh, go on birth control. And I'm like, that's not a treatment. Like, how about we figure out what's the cause of the polycystic ovarian syndrome so I can target that, as opposed to you just trying to cover it up like a band-aid. So a lot of these treatments are band-aids. So
you're right on time, Bianca, because you have in my hands. You see, for the people who can see this, this holographic pouch of goodness. You're not gonna. This is not a smoke blend from the intro.
Okay.
Tell them how you overcame your PCOS and how you turned the tide in your own personal wellness journey, because you just said a lot of things about holistic medicine versus Western medicine, and how a lot of it is not preventative, and they treat the actual ailment and don't identify the symptoms on a fundamental level. So, and you just said that there are herbs that you can take for those particular things. Please tell us your antidote for that issue.
So I went a little backstory. I went 10 years without getting my menstrual cycle naturally. And I basically opted out of the birth control community, which I was in for a couple years and didn't like it, and literally created a vaginal steam like this one right here that gave me a cycle in about 4 days. And I've had a consistent cycle now for 5 years. Prior to that, the only treatment for me was birth control. And a lot of women don't know that when you're on birth control, you're not really getting a real period. You may see bleeding, but it's not a real period. So I just felt like they were trying to just pacify me and like just cover it up like a band-aid and be like, oh, well, you're bleeding every month, so you're fine. And I'm like, no, because honestly, if I stayed on birth control for all these years, because their concern was if you don't get 6 natural periods in a year, you can be prone to breast cancer and uterine cancer. I say, well, if I'm on birth control for my whole life, because you're not giving me a time frame, I'm prone to cancer just as well.
Right.
So, and then on top of that, how am I ever going to get pregnant on birth control? Because then they were telling me like I was infertile and things like that. So I went home, I created a vaginal steam blend that gave me a cycle in 4 days. Had a consistent period ever since. And now I am 7 months pregnant. So I am very much a walking testimony to the medicine and the healing that I provide for women. And it's just been a very beautiful journey. I've did hair and makeup for 13 years for production, and I always enjoy making people look and feel beautiful, you know what I mean? But now it's like the inner beauty of a woman, making a woman look and feel beautiful internally, and all of that exudes externally. And then me doing your hair and makeup is just like a cherry on top, but like aligning a woman and having her connect with her body, her femininity, knowing her sexuality and her sexual health has been very much purposeful and gratifying. Living life on purpose and your purpose is truly amazing. And I just wish that everybody gets to have this this opportunity that we have.
And and it's not out of reach. It's not like a fairy tale. It's not delusional. I know so many women that have turbulences in navigating female friendships or navigating female interactions, and all of it stems from just doing the inner work. And you can listen to me and Bianca go back and forth like Run DMC, but what you don't understand is that there's shadow work underneath this all. The sisterhood is shadow work.
Shadow work.
And
Yes.
the way Biakan comes in and fortifies the body holistically, and the alignment of those things is the real definition of Coochie Conversations. But the act of walking in that and exuding that ability is Coochie confidence. And these are phraseologies that we're going to use throughout the course of this programming. And you're going to get this jargon whether you want it or not. You're going to start talking like us whether you want to or not, because these are real life mechanisms, and they're implementations on how to honor your truest being. And That's one of the things I love about this herb blend, because we can read the ingredients and you can go make it your own, but to intentionally curate this specific blend that builds up a woman from the inside out, that just enhances her natural flora, that balances your pH, is like, it's combating what's heteronormative. It's combating what's on the forefront of the media, keeping it wet and tight. It's, making it pleasurable, and you and your whole platform is dedicated to the quality of holistic care, and like in enhancing a regimen and erecting an altar within yourself as a woman. So I just, like, I can't applaud you enough. I'll never praise you enough. I'll never be like behind you enough, because we are walking proof of when you do what it takes and you honor your highest self. Life is so beautiful. There are
Yeah.
so many things that can unfold for you when you choose to center your world around yourself. Like, me and Bianca always, we spend conversation talking about what would make me happy right now. And we don't even phrase it that way. We're like, you know what I want to do? What you want to do? What you about to do, girl? And it's like, and it's like, you are now invited to that conversation. This is not a table that you can't sit in.
You can absolutely come sit with us.
Yeah, this is
We
the only,
encourage you to. Yes.
when you hear this podcast, you hear me scooching my chair and making room.
Yes, making room.
Yeah,
There's room for
I
all
know.
of us.
I know I'm at the table. I know who I am. I know I'm at the table, but I know that you're not there, and I see you, and I want you to sit next to us. And I know that at this table, you'll find the truth, you'll find the light, you'll find moralistic integrity, you'll find a community, but above all, you'll find sisterhood.
Yes, and like that's the thing, because I just, you come across so many women that don't believe in female friends, and or I have more male friends than female friends, or like, they've been in situations where they've been wounded and scarred by women, and I understand it because I've been there
I too
plenty.
have been there too.
Yes, plenty, but it's like, we can't let that hinder us from the relationships that are waiting for us, for the sisterhood that is waiting for us. I met a woman sort of recently, and she's like in her 50s, and she's like, my sister is my only friend. Like, I don't have no friends. My sister is my only friend. My mom always told me, watch these women and this and that. And we had one conversation. We were on the phone for 3 hours. Her husband was like, who are you on the phone with? Because he knows she don't got no friends. And she was like, this is my new friend. Like, and I was able to like open her up to another side of sisterhood and women with integrity. And it was just very gratifying that doesn't matter how old I am, I'm able to touch so many women from so many different ages. And she texts me all the time now, like checking in and checking on the baby and all that stuff. And it's just like, this is what we need. We need women to know that there's safe spaces and there's safe relationships, and that you don't always have to be burned when you're establishing a relationship with the same sex. Like,
There's so many gems here, like, and like, like everything you said is an episode. And when you set the intention of like letting people know what to expect from this programming, this is a snippet. We're gonna expound on everything we said. You can listen to this 5 or 6 times. That helps the streams,
right?
But ultimately, what we want to convey to you is that you are welcome, you are safe, and you are safety. And I'm so excited to see the transformations. We actually expect it. We actually demand it. And that's the standard around us, that we are constantly evolving. In our personal friendship, we have evolved so much in the course of our friendship, and it's never where it's unrecognizable to the other person. It's like, I see you.
Right.
I see, you grow, girl. That's literally it, without saying those words. Like, you grow, girl. Like, you better go on. And like, we're always cheering each other on. And it's not isolated to just me and Bianca. It's not isolated to us and the collective and our circle of friends. It's inclusive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is so beautiful. I'm so proud of us, because this has been just a long time coming. And even though it's just only been a year, but it's like people really been rocking with us for a whole year, and
Yeah.
there's been so much growth in our collective and in their personal lives and transformations that they've been through in
Mm-hmm.
this past year. And like sometimes, we don't give ourselves enough flowers, and it's like we're really not only doing this for ourselves, we're doing this for the women, for all women.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
as women, we suffer a lot of backlash all the
Mhm.
time. So just being able to uplift somebody that's able to uplift somebody else is very much, the goal. And
Yeah.
it just shows us that we're living our life on purpose every day,
Yeah.
doing what
Heavy
we
on the intentionality around here. Like everything is intentional. And
everything.
that's a buzzword and it's gonna trigger some people, but identify why you're triggered. Don't personify like, anybody on this platform is attacking you, but just search for understanding and understand why that's triggering. And I believe that triggers are growth point. So you
Absolutely.
may find some of the content tough to hear. The views and opinions expressed on this platform are just mine when I'm on here and Bianca's. You can take what you want, take the meat, spit out the bones, but ultimately we are here as a virtual and audio support. This is your sister circle. You may not have been the best at making friends or the best person in this season of your life, but I believe that even good people have bad seasons, good people have bad days, and just think of this as your soft place to land. Think of this as your sister circle, your non-judgmental sister circle. We are here to support you, and please tell us the listeners how to reach you and where they can tap into you and where they can ask questions.
So we're located on Instagram at BU Beauty Official. So it's BEYOU Beauty Official. Our website is bubeauty.com. We also have a Facebook page, it's BU Beauty Official, and then we have a group. It's the Sacred Yoni and a Goddess Tribe, where you can come in, we can have a recap, you can ask questions, and really just establish a relationship off the podcast, because I'm very much looking forward to establishing, this sisterhood and on a more global scale, because I just feel like Spirit has just been telling us like it's time to take it to the masses. Like
Yeah.
you've been very diligent every Wednesday on your lives and stuff, but it's time to go on a bigger platform. So I'm just so excited to be here, so excited to have you all listening and tuning in, and I just hope that you enjoy and relate to every conversation that we have here.
Yes, and the guests are going to be fire. The content's going to be fire, and the production is going to be fire because we are an intentional bunch, and we want to make sure that you stay elevated, but also stay grounded, and that's something we'll learn. We'll teach you how to balance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to have everything from yoga instructors on here. We'll have doulas, we'll have midwives, we'll have nurses, we'll have just a little bit of everything. We'll be talking about business, entrepreneurship. The goal is also to inspire. So
Yes.
my goal is to aspire to inspire. Sometimes I make this journey look easy, and I realized that. And I realized it's not a problem of making the journey look easy, because I will be very transparent in our future episodes about the journey of entrepreneurship. But I also want to show you guys that all of this is possible for you as well. Whether
Hmm.
it's the shadow work and the healing and the mirror work, you wanting to run your own business, you wanting to run your own business as a mom or a new mom, I'm just here to show you that you are limitless. And if I could do it, you could do it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. We're here for all the baddies, the corporate baddies, the goddess baddies,
yes,
entrepreneur baddies. We're here for
Blue baddies, all of that.
the Bruja baddies. The Christian girls might pop in every now and then because they're obsessed with me. But
Okay.
like, I'm excited for the programming, and I'm just again like I want to say this like out loud so you can hear it and it's on record forever and ever and ever. I am constantly proud of you, and I stand beside you 1,001%. And it has been such an honor to be an extension of you, and I look forward to more things, to more blessings, more billions. You know, we're gonna be recording this on a boat, y'all.
Yes, we are on an island somewhere.
It's gonna be y'all behavior, real.
Y'all are all invited. So definitely come out.
It's gonna be real
vibe with us.
It's gonna be real tropical in a second. I don't know if you can take it.
See, me and Seven, we be ready.
You know, Cousin Lemon is ready. She is ready.
She's her bags is packed already. I already know. And having said that, I want to leave y'all with a little affirmation.
Yes. Come on, goddess affirmation.
I'm gonna say women satisfy people and goddess satisfy the calling. And I quote that from you because I just feel like we are really goddesses out here satisfying our calling, and we're teaching women that, you know, they too have a calling and a purpose. And it's not always just, I see a lot of women feeling like their purpose is just being a mom, you know, and it's not like you're a person before you're a mom, you know, and you had dreams and goals and visions before you became a mom. And it's fine if you feel like your purpose is just being a mom, but yes, it's very beautiful. There's something else brewing inside of that womb of yours that you need to give birth to. And it's not always something physical. So women satisfy people, goddesses satisfy the calling.
You know, don't get me started. You know, that's how you close it out.
Yes. So I thank all of you for tuning in to our first episode of Coochie Conversations. I can't wait to share more episodes with you all, and definitely tap in with us on other platforms, and we will see you here every Wednesday. So see you guys soon. Talk to you later.